Hi, I am Bernie Hayes. Today's guest is Robert Green, aka Rudo, and he's a leader in the community, Pruitt-Igoe forever. Today on The Bernie Hayes Show. Welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. My guest is Rudo. Welcome back.
Hey,
Good to see you again.
good to see you, Bernie.
Always, always. You know, I've been seeing so much on social media about what you're doing with Pruitt-Igoe. The group's still meeting, so forth.
Yes.
Tell us about Pruitt-Igoe Forever.
Well, Pruitt-Igoe Forever started a few years back, and it started because I wanted to do a picnic. We have been doing Pruitt-Igoe reunions for about 47 years. I think this year will be 48th year. And so a few years back, I wanted to add a picnic component to that, and I added a picnic component to that. And I started an official organization called Pruitt-Igoe Forever. And so it received widespread support from the other individuals and people who lived in Pruitt-Igoe. So it's been a wonderful journey that we've taken on to talk about how we change the narrative of those folks who've been disseminating information that's not necessarily true. Usually they misstate what they really don't know. So, yeah.
What do you want the people to know about Pruitt-Igoe that perhaps they don't know?
Well, first and foremost, most definitely, I want people to know that the legacy of Pruitt-Igoe lays within the people and not in the buildings. So you can tear a building down, or it can become a deplorable building. The people will move out, and so they take the legacy with them and leave the buildings behind. And that's been the fallacy all along, that Pruitt-Igoe was this horrible, horrible place. But I'm here to tell you, because I lived there for 10 years, Bernie, that 99.9% of the people who lived in Pruitt-Igoe was decent people. Of course, you had a couple of people who did some things.
Yeah, sure. But I've been with you in a couple of your reunions, and everybody is uplifted. They love Pruitt-Igoe. They love that their roots in Pruitt-Igoe. And so one or two negative things, a book and so forth, shouldn't destroy that, but it didn't seem to hurt the people at all. I mean, they seem to be proud of Pruitt-Igoe.
Bernie, I remember living at 2707 Gamble Street. And at 2707 Gamble, it was a tenement house. And there was 4 families living in the tenement house. In fact, one of the families moved into Pruitt-Igoe as we did. But the tenement house was a building that was constructed in the 1800s. And I can recall looking over at the Pruitt-Igoe from the tenement house. And it was this marvelous, beautiful, wonderful place. I could see the steam heat on the window.
Yeah.
You know, we used coal heat
back
in those days.
Yeah.
And coal and wood. And if you didn't have the money for the coal and wood, you're cold.
That's right.
And so Pruitt-Igoe, when we moved in, was this wonderful, wonderful place. And we moved in '64. And the apartments was mid-century modern.
Yeah.
It was absolutely mid-century modern. And imagine moving out of an 1800 building and moving to something that's mid-century modern.
Sure.
And it was wonderful. And the views that we had.
Almost a culture shock, wasn't it?
it was a paradigm shift, for sure.
Sure.
Moving out of an 1800 building and moving into a mid-century modern building, and then had a panoramic view of the skies of St. Louis. We could see the river from the apartment that we moved into.
Wow.
We could see the arch. It was just beautiful. And so Pruitt-Igoe to me is just, it's my home. I spent from 10 to moved into 10, so stayed there 10 years, 24. Yeah.
Wow. What is your mission now of Pruitt-Igoe Forever?
The mission of Pruitt-Igoe Forever now is basically, like I said, to pass that the real legacy of Pruitt-Igoe on to our children and our grandchildren and diverse people throughout the United States of America.
Sure. Do you think that some people who moved out of Pruitt-Igoe don't know about Pruitt-Igoe Forever who may want to contact you? How would they do that?
There is people who moved out of Pruitt-Igoe that don't know about Pruitt-Igoe Forever.
Yeah. How can they reach you and get more information?
They can reach me by calling 314-243-1021, or they can hit me up on my website at saitlefab@gmail.com, and that's SAINT LAAFAB@gmail.com.
Okay. And I assume you're welcoming people back who were once residents of Pruitt-Igoe.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. We have just a plethora of events, and we, one thing about Pruitt-Igoe that people don't get.
Tell us.
We are family. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just as plain as day.
Sure.
When you see somebody from Pruitt-Igoe, we are family. Another thing that people don't get, when you're talking about St. Louis City, you run into people that you don't know, and you mention Pruitt-Igoe. And most people that I run into have some connection to Pruitt-Igoe. Their family lived there. They had a bar friend there. They grew up across the street. It just, Pruitt-Igoe is, even the word Pruitt-Igoe, is ubiquitous all over St. Louis. But more than that, it's ubiquitous all over the United States of America.
Yeah, sure.
Because we got people today coming from all different cities and countries studying Pruitt-Igoe.
Yeah, I noticed. I know of 3 books that have been written about Pruitt-Igoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
I can relate to what you were saying too about Gamble and the modern apartments that you moved into. I always wanted to live in the projects, man. Ida B. Wells, I wanted, and Robert Taylor Holmes.
Yeah, I know those.
But because it was all modern.
all mid-century
And they talk about people in the projects. Man, I wish I was a people in the project,
Like I said, Bernie, the 2707 Gamble Street.
Yeah.
We used wood burning stove. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't have coal, you didn't have wood, you was cold.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that.
Yeah, you couldn't buy it. You got to purchase it.
Your rich was out.
Sure.
And so I happened to sleep in a bed with my brothers. It was 10 of us, a big family.
Yeah.
And I had the view looking toward the Pruitt-Igoe. And in the wintertime, I could see the steam on the windows.
Yes, sure.
And then during Christmas, all the lights lit up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I wanted to move into Pruitt-Igoe.
And you got that opportunity.
And we got that opportunity. And I remember the day that we moved in so vividly. My mother went out and she secured, residency there.
Sure.
And then she brought us there. And we ran into the apartment. Oh, we got a bathroom in here with us. We got 4 bedrooms. We got a kitchen. We got a living room. It's smooth walls.
Sure. Yeah.
Everything. It was just absolutely
true upgrade, huh?
It was a definitely true upgrade. In fact, Bernie, the thing about it, when we moved out of the Pruitt-Igoe, when they kicked us out of there, in 74, they kicked us out of Pruitt-Igoe, I was ashamed to bring my friends, because we moved into 1800s building after we moved out of Pruitt-Igoe. Okay. And I was ashamed to bring my friends to that 1800 building because I'm used to Mid-Century Modern. Yeah. See, people really don't understand the whole concept. Yeah. But young people to this day, young white people, young black people, they don't like that 1800 stuff. Mm-hmm. You can't give it away. And I'm in the antique business. Sure. You can't give it away. But mid-century modern furniture is very expensive. Mid-century modern homes are very expensive because, after all, it's mid-century modern.
Wow, wow. And you're such an historian, such an expert on all these wonderful things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of things, too. Next segment, I want to talk about the regalia and the jewelry that you're wearing, because we talked about it before, and the cane that you carry, and the significance of all that. But there's so much, Rudo, that you do, and so many things that you do, and the festivals that you present in the spring and summer, and in the winter, and Pruitt-Igoe Forever. It's just amazing. How do you bide your time, man?
Bernie, my wife and I, she just retired, by the way.
What's her name?
Rose, middle name Mary, last name Green. Okay. And I love her to death. Of course you do. We've been together about 40 plus years. Okay, we have about 1 minute left in this segment. So my wife, we just work together, we stay together, just 2 of us. And you work so wonderful together. Yes. And I'm so proud just to know you both. We get up together, we eat breakfast together, we go out together, we just, That's wonderful. Yeah. Robert Green, also named Rudo, is my guest, and we're here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, where Reverend Larry Rice has been providing services for more than 52 years for those in need, from 1411 Locust Street to 2428 Woodson Road. We'll be back with Rudo after this.
As I walk in the woods, talking to God, I feel His Spirit impress me. Yes, as believers, we must do even more to help those that not only are living outside, but those that are in cold, dark homes, those that can't afford those gas bills anymore, those electric bills that just keep going up and up and up. Thank God if you have heat in your home. But please, let us not forget those that don't. And what a big difference for good we can make if we will just let God's light and love flow through us. As we remember that He is the source, we're the channels. As we come to Him, trusting Him, and freely share of our gifts, we will see Him do exceedingly beyond what we can even ask or think. We're trying to help the hurting that can't pay those utility bills at the New Life Evangelistic Center. That's why we need your prayers at this time. We need your partnership. It's New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, or www.nlecstl.org.
Behind me is the New Life Evangelistic Center administrative offices in Overland, Missouri. And this is where we shoot our shows for our worship shows and the Here's Help Network. And it's also where Zakid Baroudi and Bernie Hayes shoot their shows. You can find all of these shows at the New Life Evangelistic Center app, the NLEC TV app. You can also access them on your tablet or on your computer. And this is how you can stay up to date with all the things that New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. There are so many different programs that we've got going on, and God is doing many exciting things through partners like you. So if you want to support the work that New Life is doing, then please access and give through the app. You can go online at nlecstl.org or give us a call at 314-421-3020. Again, 314-421-3020. But this is the best way to get plugged into the amazing work that New Life is doing through people like you. And so there is something for you to get involved in today. And we are so thankful for our partners. Only through the grace of God and your gift are we able to bless others today.
Welcome back. My guest is Rudo. We're talking about Pruitt-Igoe Forever and so many other things that he does. And Rudo, the regalia and the jewelry that
Yes.
you're wearing, tell us about some of that, and the cane that you carry. What's the significance?
The significance, Bernie, is that it came about. I collect African artifacts.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of African artifacts in my home. And also collect vernacular images of African Americans.
Okay.
To show our true image to the world. And not that the derogatory stuff. And so I started collecting images of African American gentlemen and ladies that was wearing walking sticks. You don't carry a walking stick. You wear it similar to, like I'm wearing this jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
So it would be inappropriate for you to ask me, say, Robert, let me handle your walking stick because it's part of my attire.
Wow.
But the rings and things that I got on came from a friend of mine that lived in Ghana, and he was selling me original artifacts from Africa.
Sure.
But my walls and everything is covered with artifacts. I told him I don't need any more artifacts to hang and to sit. You know, I'm getting older. And so he brought me this whole cache of rings and things, and they're real. They're real.
Okay.
And they have significance.
Oh, they're brass or what?
They're brass. They're brass.
Yeah.
But they were dug up and they were dirty.
Yeah.
And then as I wear them, they clean up.
Sure.
But they have significance. You know, like the chameleon is like, you know, it's close to the earth, and it's like it's a thing that like like us, we change with the ebbs and flows of life.
Sure.
You know, vicissitude. You know, we're resilient. And then this last time I was in Africa, the chief of a tribe gave me this.
Wow.
Yeah, he gave me this bird here.
That's a bird, yeah.
And so some of these birds are like Sokofa birds. Go back, get the knowledge, bring it forward. This one here is a bull. And you know, a bull is a powerful animal.
Yes.
Wherever you go throughout the world. You
Right.
know, you go to Wall Street, you got a bull represented.
Yeah, that's what
so
it is.
Africa and any parts of Africa.
Bull market.
Yeah, so I sit on the board of the Mercantile Library, the executive board of the Mercantile Library, and I go for regalia. You
Wow.
know, and I'm the only black person there.
Sure.
Dr. Wright used to be on the board, but he hasn't been at a meeting in a while.
John Wright.
Dr. John Wright. Yeah,
Senior,
Dr. John
yeah.
Wright. He used to be on the board. And but I come dressed for regalia with my red, black, and green representing Marcus Garvey.
Certainly.
And I used to wear red, black, green masks. So this one occasion, there was a young gentleman there, and he was serving food, and he was a black gentleman. And he came up to me and said, "Man, I love your jewelry. I love your jewelry." And he said he had a necklace that he started to wear that day. But he didn't because he was coming to the Mercantile Library.
Wow.
yeah. And at the Mercantile Library,
He felt it would be out of place.
he thought he'd be out of place because all the board members are white.
Yeah.
The executive director.
I know about the
everybody-
Mercantile. Yeah.
So you know where I'm at.
Oh, of course.
And so I told the young brother, I said, "Look here, man, this is part of our heritage, this is part of our culture, this is part of our legacy. And be proud of who you are, be proud of your culture."
Right.
And so I wear this because I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of where I come from.
That's great. Robert, when did you become into consciousness, more or less, for who you are and what you want to represent?
You know, again, it kind of started. There's a show they do every year, and they've been doing it for years. And it's called the Ethnographic Show.
Where is that located here?
That's located in Collinsville, right across the bridge in Collinsville.
Illinois.
And at the Ethnographic Show, they will sell Indian artifacts there.
Okay.
Native American, indigenous people artifacts there.
All right.
But there was not one indigenous person in the room selling the artifacts. It's all European Americans.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I like indigenous people artifacts. I'm an ethnographic guy myself. Mm-hmm. And so I went to a show there, and I saw some African artifacts. I'm like, my God. Now they're going to start, selling all our artifacts, which they control the market anyway.
Oh, like the hair pick. No black people made them.
They control the market anyway. Yeah. So I started to get into the culture more deeply in 2013.
2013.
Yeah, to show our young people what an artifact is. Mm-hmm. Whether it's from Africa or this continent.
Okay.
Because there's valuable things, like you got the museum. People got things in their basement, attics, and things that you can use and show in your museum to show our history, show our culture, to pass our legacy on. But if you don't know what an artifact is, then you pitch it.
Yeah. You discard it and don't know what it is.
It's gone, and that's a part of history.
Yeah. Well, also your name, Rudo, that's just part of your name. Tell us the entire name.
Yeah, my whole name is my name that was given by my mother is Robert Earl Green.
Okay.
And that's, white plantation owner probably.
Sure.
Name. Mm-hmm. But I adopted Rudo because Rudo means love.
Okay.
And I love everybody.
Is it Swahili?
It's Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, okay.
And I love everybody. Black, white, doesn't make any difference. Mm-hmm. And I got that from my grandfather. My grandfather, during the second and greatest black migration from the South, our family got disseminated all across America.
I can imagine, yeah.
And so my grandfather took part of the family and moved to Buffalo, New York. Because I had an uncle that tried to escape enslavement and go to Canada from Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So he took part of the family and moved to Buffalo, New York. And so I got family in Chicago, all over the place. But when my grandfather would come through St. Louis, his mantra for us is to love everybody. And I would talk to my granddad, and I said, "Granddad, how you love everybody? If little Johnny take my candy, how do I love little Johnny?" He said, "You might not like what he did, but we put on this earth to love everybody, and to subdue this earth and bring it under our control for everybody." And so that's my main thing. I don't know if I answered your question.
Is that your message through all the organizations that you're affiliated with?
My message is pretty much two things. Mm-hmm. One of them is when I get up in the morning, I ask the Creator to let me be the best person that I can be that day.
Yes.
And days follow. And I ask God to let me love everybody. But, of course, the focus is on African Americans.
Okay.
Because we are in dire we're in dire straits, really. You go through our communities on the north side of St. Louis City, and then you go to the south side, and our communities are in deplorable condition. I travel all over Bernie.
Devastating contrast, isn't it?
Huh?
Devastating contrast.
I travel all over, and I don't see no areas like St. Louis City, vacant buildings, just in deplorable condition. In Detroit, they have a similar area, but the artists have taken over the building and have decorated the building so that now it's a tourist destination.
Yeah, there's Renaissance in Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly is. Yeah.
yeah. But this is America.
Yeah.
And I have there's a gentleman here. He's a white gentleman, and he's from Austria, and he's shooting a documentary about things in L.A., things in New York, and he shoots some things about me. And I asked him about crime there, and he said, "If somebody got killed there, that's a major thing."
Wow.
And I said, "Do people carry guns?" He said, "Oh no, there's no gun carrying there." I said, "There's homeless? There's no homelessness. There's no homelessness there because the government take care of it. But it's a socialist society.
Of course.
Yeah, so
And
it's different. We're capitalists.
So they reject that here in America.
Yeah.
We got to take a short break. We're talking about so many wonderful things, especially things that he's involved in. We come back and talk about some of the affiliations that he has after this. We'll be right back.
It's time we come out of this cold, dark, hopeless world and declare the Word of God, because Proverbs 29:18 says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Study the history of New Life Evangelistic Center, and you will see that over the last 50 years, God has used His people to seek Him in the midst of crisis after crisis, whether it's 1980 heat crisis, to how did the Lord use that to bring forth thousands and thousands of fans and air conditioners, whether it's the violence prevention programs of the 1990s, was it the Holy Spirit moving in a mighty way to bring forth Christian television and radio? We give God the glory. Yes, we're celebrating 50 years of God's faithfulness, but also 50 years of vision. The Bible says, where there's no vision, the people perish. These insurmountable problems you may face at this time, get down before God, seek Him, lay it out before Him, and don't be surprised if He starts stirring a vision in your heart. Then stand on the promises of God and move forth by faith. I'd love for you to share that vision with me. You can write me, Larry Rice, at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri, at 63166. Together, we can be the light Christ has called us to be.
Today's Black History subject is Reese Goose Tatum, a professional baseball and basketball player. Tatum was born May 31st, 1921 in El Dorado, Arkansas. By the time he was 16 years old, he was playing professional baseball among Negro League teams. Tatum also had a professional basketball career beginning in 1942 when he signed with the Harlem Globetrotters. Tatum was credited with being one of the first professional basketball players to perfect the hook shot and score more than 50 points in a game. At the time of his retirement in 1953, Tatum was making $53,000, which made him the highest paid athlete in professional basketball. Reese Goose Tatum died from a heart attack on January 18, 1967, at the age of 45. In 1974, he was introduced into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. In 2002, his jersey was retired from the Harlem Globetrotters, and in 2011, he was elected to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Reese Goose Tatum.
God loves a cheerful giver. Even though things are really tough right now, you can make a difference in the lives of so many. New Life has been doing this work for 50 years, and we have seen God's gracious goodness through people like you who have participated in this work. There are so many people who are suffering. More people are becoming homeless for the first time with the rising costs of inflation and food and housing and so many other commodities. We need help. You can make a difference today in the lives of so many by giving your tax-deductible gift to P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. Or go to newlifeevangelisticcenter.org or call to get involved in this incredible work.
Welcome back. My guest is Rudo, and we're talking about so many wonderful things that he's involved in, so many wonderful people that he's touched, and Pruitt I Go Forever. So Rudo, you want to talk about travel, you say. What do you want to emphasize on travel?
The most important thing about traveling is that you get to understand the culture of different ethnic groups in different countries, and you learn a lot. And I think in this country, I wish I could have. I went to Ghana last year, and that was my first visit to the continent.
Sure.
But I wish I could have went when I was a child, when I was a baby, to see us.
Yeah.
I was asking my daughter, Birdie, where are all the white folks?
In Ghana.
And I'm not racist or anything.
Sure.
But it was just a matter of fact, they wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then I asked, where were all the elderly? I'm walking down the street, I'm one of the elders, but there's not many elders on the street. And they say the elders are at home teaching.
Wow. That's so marvelous.
Not out trying to shine and compete with the young people.
Yeah.
And the police didn't carry guns. It was just a beautiful, beautiful place to be and to learn. But I think I'm taking my granddaughters back in March. We're all going back. The whole big family of us going to Africa.
That's wonderful.
This will be my second time. Some of my family members will be their first time. But I'm taking my granddaughters back because I want them to see a continent of us, where we come from.
Certainly.
Because this optic that some of us have in our head about Africa, we've been brainwashed by Tarzan and
running through the jungle.
running through the jungle with a monkey and Tarzan controlling the whole jungle.
Sure, yeah.
It's Accra. It's the capital of Ghana.
Yeah.
It is a major city. It's a major city.
Modern city.
Modern city.
Yeah.
Everything we got here, they got there, and probably more. And the people are so beautiful. People are nice. Yeah. The only thing that's sad.
The fashions are from Ghana. Huh? The fashions that come out of Ghana.
The fashion, the art.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But one thing did sadden me about Ghana, and it's kind of similar to America. In America, you have racism. In Ghana, you have classism.
Classism, okay.
But
like
even,
a caste system, more or less. Like a caste system.
No, it's classism.
Class, yeah.
Yeah, class, economics. If you don't have economics, you don't have money in Ghana, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but even under that system, I would still rather be in Ghana as a black young man, a boy coming up, because when you look at the money, there's black folks on the money. You go to Canada, you look at the money, all Europeans. You go down to Mexico, you look at the money, all Hispanics.
Sure.
And so even though you may not be in the upper class, and I had the opportunity to meet people from the very upper class, the higher spectrum with the big money,
Sure.
and people with the lower class. But there is hope because it's a black country, and the people in the upper class is black, And so the people in the lower class got a dream that they can get there.
Something to aspire to.
Yeah.
Okay. We're almost out of time, Robert. I want to get your information, how people can contact you and get more information and even join you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, you can call me at 314-243-1021, or you can reach me at stlefab@gmail.com, or you can go to Instagram, Facebook, and look at Robert Green. And I'm pretty easy to get a hold of because I'm pretty active
What are some of the organizations you're involved
on
in?
social media. Yeah. So the first thing we got coming up, I got a multitude of things. I got a building that I just kind of renovated, and so I'm letting people use that building to do to activate the building and do poetry. We're going to have children art festivals. We're going to have then in June. I got the Juneteenth Freedom Celebration.
Okay, we're about out of time. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well,
we got so much to talk about.
We'll come back.
We got to come back and talk more or less. Yeah,
it's so much to talk about. But
yeah, and so many things that you're doing too, and I really appreciate everything. And I just appreciate you coming here, and I appreciate each and every one of you for supporting Reverend Larry Rice and the New Life Evangelistic Center and the Bernie Hayes Show. So thank you so much. We're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, 63114. Have a great day. See you next time.